Well, good morning, everyone. How are you? It's me, it's Chris Spade over at Keller Williams Realty. I'm just getting my face stuff ready to put on. Welcome to another Wednesday edition of Bathroom Chats. This is where I get myself ready for work and we chit-chat about the real estate market. I'm trying to figure out now which one I do first and which one I do second. Nah, I guess it doesn't really matter though. But anyway, I'm doing my face stuff, my face regimen from the organic pharmacy, but I haven't done it in a while and it's not coming out. That's weird. Anyway, so let's talk about, well, it's garbage now. Let's talk about the real estate market and everything that is going on. Just toss that out. No big deal. Anyway, so let's talk about what's going on in the market. So first of all, let's talk inventory because that's important. I want to update you guys on these numbers every single week. So as of like 2 minutes ago, 1,262 homes on the market in all of San Diego County. Remember, San Diego County has approximately 3 million people. So 1,262 homes. That's it. I found out last week that one of the offers that we wrote on a property for one of my clients, we wrote it for $100,000 over. I found out that property actually, it was listed at $950 and we went $100,000 over. I found out that property specifically went over $1.2 million and it was a cash offer that was accepted. Then someone else recently posted in my office where they listed a place and it went, they just said several $100,000 over list price. So houses are going well over list price right now, everyone. So if you are in the market to buy, the best advice I can give you is make whatever you are approved for, you're going to have to look lower because then what you're going to have to do is start looking at lower prices and offering more than what the house is actually worth if you want to get into a house in this market. So if you're a seller, this is a good thing because you've got equity. We're going to talk about that in a second. So there's 325 attached homes, 937 condos. All right, I'm sorry, 325. I think I got these numbers wrong. I put 325 attached. That sounds about right. And 937 detached homes. Yes, that's right. 937 detached homes. And under 500,000, there are only 97 condos on the market for sale. So 97 condos under $500,000. $500,000 is the baseline price point right now. Everything's really between that $600,000 and $800,000 spot. That's the sweet spot. And of detached homes, there's only 25 detached homes under $500,000 in the entire market in San Diego, which means, the average price right now in San Diego is over $1 million. So you guys need to know these numbers, especially if you're out there thinking about buying. Now, if you're a seller and you want to sell your property, the biggest concern sellers have right now is, where am I going to go? There's no houses to buy. I just told you there's 1,262 houses in all of San Diego to buy. And so the biggest legitimate concern for people is, what am I going to do? Where am I going to go? And so I wanted to talk to you about that for a second because there are 4 different options you have. So I want to go over those options with you. Now, option number 1 is you could do a lease back from your new buyer up to I always say 60 days. And the reason I say 60 days on a leaseback is because most lenders who are lending to a buyer will not let leasebacks go longer than that in most cases. But keep in mind, you actually have 90 days because you have 30 days that you're in escrow to look for a property, plus you have another 60 days to look for a property. Now, if you don't find a property in that 60 days, you are still going to have to move, but that's one option that you have, and that is to do a lease back for up to 60 days. And in a lot of cases, not every case, I just negotiated a deal where we did this, but at first the sellers wanted 4 months, and then they said 2 months, and then we said 29 days, and then we charged them $2,500, which is well below what my client's mortgage payment was going to be. But that is one option that you can do. Now, the second option is to make your offer as a seller contingent on you finding suitable housing. So when we go to put your house on the market, what we're going to do is we're going to put it in the confidential remarks that this sale is contingent on the seller finding a suitable replacement property. And what that's going to do is it puts the buyer on notice that if you don't find a house that you can move into in the specified amount of time in the agreement, so it's an agreed upon time frame in the agreement, if you can't find a house, then you just have to put that buyer on notice and you can cancel the contract. The bad news is you lose a contract, okay? So you will lose the contract with the buyer that you have right now, unless they want to extend it and you want to change the terms in that agreement, which you can do. Now, the challenge with doing that is the buyer's lenders probably already locked the buyer's loan in for a specified period of time. That's the other thing. Like, lenders don't like to do rate locks more than 60 days. They want to do 30 or less, or 45 is pushing it. They can do 60, but they don't want to do it any longer than that. So that's one option. You can make it contingent on finding a replacement property. So we can do that. The third thing you can do is do a little bit longer of an escrow, right? So you can do a longer escrow, and I would advise doing only 60 days because of what we had just talked about. And that is the buyer's lender doesn't like to lock loans for longer than 60 days at any one time. Anything more than that, then, or if the rate lock is about to expire, then the lender charges the buyer what's called a rate lock extension. And, you know, at the end of the day, if it's because you haven't found a place and you've agreed that you're going to find a place and you didn't make it contingent, then you know, ethically and the right thing to do would be for the seller to pay for the buyer's rate lock extension, but that doesn't always happen. So just be aware of that. More than 60-day escrows are not good. And the fourth and maybe one of the best options is that you sell your property and you just move out and you find a rental. And then we can have the luxury of going and finding you a place to buy. I guarantee you, unless you're really downtown San Diego, you are going to find a buyer for your house. There are very few houses that just sit on the market, but if you are looking for a house and you can't find one, then selling your house and doing a rental is probably one of your best options, I think. I know I get some pushback from people about that because the affordability and rents, it's just the market we're in right now. So if you are renting, don't stop renting. If you're looking to buy a house and you say, oh, I've only got 60 days to find a place to live. I've been working with buyers for 6 months and we've been getting beat out on offers. So my advice is, if it were me, I would sign a lease and break the lease. They'll always find a renter. Now you might have to pay an extra month, but if it were me, I would sign the lease, break the lease, and then move into my new home if I was going to do that. So let's go over the 4 options one more time. First and foremost, you can do a lease back. You're going to have to sign a lease agreement. In many cases, you won't have to pay any rent, but if you get a really good offer, in the case of my clients, they wrote a very good offer. They wrote the best offer. The sellers were getting more than what they would on any other offer. We asked for $2,500 back in rent. The second thing you can do, make your offer contingent on the sale of your home, contingent on you purchasing a new property. If you can't find one, that falls through. You've still got your house. You're okay. You lose the buyer. And then people are going to ask, what happened? And so we just tell them, we couldn't find a house to buy. All the while we still keep looking, and then maybe that buyer will come back. They may not. Number 3, do a longer escrow, but remember, don't really like to do anything more than 60 days, and that's because buyers lenders typically don't like to lock loans for longer than 60 days. And then the fourth thing is to just sell your property and then rent it on the back end. Go find a rental on the back end. So let me know if you have any questions. I know this is the big concern for a lot of people, so I wanted to put your mind at ease that there are options and we can discuss these. We can also do one or more of these things, so you can like combine a contingent offer on the sale of your property, but you can do a lease back for 29 days if you need the funds to close your current property to purchase the new property. So we can do that. We can still do a longer escrow with the rent back. There are options. So we can like blend a couple of these together. And these are just some of the things that you can do. So if you'd like to discuss your options on what you could do and what would be best for you, what I would advise, there are risks for the buyer, there are risks for you. So we need to make sure that you understand all those risks. I will be making a different video on this that's going to go a little bit more in detail, so stay tuned for that, but I just wanted to help you guys out with this. So if you have any questions, I'm here for you. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate you guys coming together for me with my bathroom chats. Oops, I see a hair out of place. Anyway, it's Wednesday. Hope you all have a great weekend. If you need me, let me know. I'll be around. Bye-bye.